Hello. Fair warning. Well, first of all, we're listening to the most mysterious song on the internet because it was stuck in my head this morning and I kept humming it. So I wanted to listen to it really quick to get it out of my head. We'll go back to the video game music afterward, but it was stuck in my head, so I had to. And I can listen to it on stream because it hasn't been copyright claimed. That's the whole point of the song. Fair warning. I have lost power about 3 times significantly through like the last 2 days, so not sure how stream's gonna go today. If I end abruptly, I probably lost power. I probably won't be back, so I'm gonna try it. We'll see if my internet lasts. We've got storms coming in, and I'm still under a thunderstorm watch. There's a lull right now, but I think it's going to start raining again in about 40 minutes, so... but yes. How is everyone? We have 77% of surveys done. So hopefully I'll get that magic 80 in the next couple days. Yes, this is a good song. Nice Star Storm reference. It actually has been, it has been found, by the way. It's called... It's called, it's called, like, the Subways of Your Mind or something like that. Yeah. FEX, Subways of Your Mind. So it has been found, but... it got stuck in my head. Somebody had it as like their opening on a YouTube video, and I was like, man, I remember that song. It's kind of an earworm. Alrighty, let's listen to... what do we want to listen to today? I've been playing Paper Mario, so let's listen to some Paper Mario songs. And by... I've been playing Paper Mario in that I watched a single video on Paper Mario. The Legion of Stationery. Best of Paper Mario? Sure. Family emergency? Oh no, I'm sorry, Yuna. I hope everything's okay. I'm wishing your family the best of luck. I'll keep them in my thoughts. Alrighty, so we're gonna start with this. I have been working on a couple of projects that are extremely self-indulgent the last couple of weeks. I have started chipping off and brushing off the dust on the magnum opus. I am trying to get that finalized. I can give you the details on the Ultimate Timeline, which is the actual name of the magnum opus. It's called Warrior Cats The Ultimate Timeline. Not because I think it's like the best timeline out there, it's just a play on Warrior Cats The Ultimate Guide. My progress tracker on the finalization of the timeline, I have 36% of characters completed, so that means that they've been added completely into the timeline, and I have 18% of books completed, which means they have been completely integrated into the timeline. It's not actually that much, but I feel like I've done a lot more than I haven't. I've completed it all the way up until... I've completed the entirety of the Dawn of the Clans and like the Ancient Cats timeline, the entirety of the Code of the Clans and Battle of Clans timeline, the entirety of Cloudstar's Journey and Stormclan's Follies timeline, and I am working on the quote-unquote prequel era, so that's Mothlight's Vision up to Into the Wild. I added in ThunderClan completely and RiverClan completely and fully integrated most of those characters. So the next one I'll probably add in is either ShadowClan or WindClan. I don't know. I'm trying to it's taking a little longer because I'm also integrating in Rogues and Loners and Kitty Pets. That's a little bit self-indulgent. I actually haven't worked on that in about a week, but I have been working on it. I was working on it in July a lot. I have also, as you guys saw last stream, completely self-indulgent, a revisit of a specific Warrior Cats book. Design-wise, I only do the revamps for like warm-ups and cooldowns, so I think I don't do them every day. Like yesterday I did one cat. I think I sketched it for my warm-up and then I cleaned it up for my cooldown. So, but we're gonna work on this today. A leaf pool is done. Also, I feel a little stuffy, so if I sound like stuffed up, I mean, like, I blew my nose, but it doesn't, I don't know, it's weird. It's like I have phlegm in my throat or something. So leaf pool is done in this shot, so we need to clean up, or we need to, yeah, clean up the Mothlight animation. So we need to we need to animate her fur, animate her expression getting a little bit more intense, and then I just like boil these lines, so that means I just draw them over. I draw over the part of her body that's not moving about twice to kind of like mimic it being redrawn for each frame. I've had a Darktail map song stuck in my head and it won't go away. That happens with map songs a lot to me, especially when I start like scripting and like really nailing down the pre-production of it, where you're just like listening to it over and over, especially when I'm scripting, because I'm like constantly kind of like visualizing the boards or like what I think the story could like flow in, and so you're just like putting it on loop. Yeah, that happens a lot with the maps. Get used to it if you're gonna be hosting, for sure. You definitely kind of never really want to listen to the song for fun for a very long time afterward. Eventually it hits the threshold after the video's finished, where it's like nostalgic and you want to like relive the memories. Thanks for the memories. I had a dream that a Warriors Super Edition was coming out and it was about Owlstar. That's interesting. I do think Sparrowstar would be a better pick out of the siblings, if not for Pebbleheart. I don't really... How many Super Editions do we have that are Medicine Cat point of view? Yellowfang's Secret, Mothlight's Vision. Is there any other ones? Okay, so I'm gonna lock these guys so I don't accidentally draw them. We have moth hair, moth eyes, and moth body. So let's lock the moth eyes and the moth body. After I turn down the opacity a little bit. And then we will work on the hair first. Mothwing's Secret. I was talking about Super Editions. We have a couple novellas. Yeah, Mothwing's Secret, Leafpool's Wish. I don't know any other ones, actually. Yeah, a couple. I did say a couple. When you guys say, hey, can I get a couple of these? Do you guys ever mean 2 or do you usually mean 3? Can I get a couple of those? I usually mean 3. Even though well, okay, a couple is 2 to 3, and then a few of something is supposed to be 3 to 5, right? That's the, like, what it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm gonna add all the keyframes. 2 to 3. I usually mean 2. Interesting. Is it weird that a couple is 2 to 3 and a few is 3 to 5? So, like, in reality, if somebody asks you for, like, a nondescript amount of something and they say a couple or a few, you should just give them 3 to be safe. I feel like if I said, hey, can I get a few fries? If you gave me 3 fries, I'd be very angry, though. Well, I guess most of the time, I don't know. Can I have some of those? Or some. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place today. You guys ever, like, just have a train of thought that's really pointless, nothing of substance at all, but you kind of, like, decide that you want to follow it? That's me right now. Especially when it comes to, like, linguistic stuff. I love thinking about linguistic stuff. Like, there's this one thing the other day that I watch a lot of documentaries or, like, YouTube videos about the ancient world, I guess. Like evolution, blah, 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 etc. And there was this one thing, I watched one on ancient humanoids. So, like, different sort of species that we kind of evolved around side, like Neanderthals and stuff like that aren't around anymore. And one of the questions that the guy said in the video stuck with me, where he said, we all have that voice in our head, right? Like, when you're talking to yourself in your head, there's a voice. You're listening to it, like it's speaking to you, like it's speaking English, it's speaking German, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But before humans had written language or spoken language or any sort of, like, developed language, what did that voice sound like? Because we definitely had it. Like, there is evidence that humanity and human species were creating cave painting and stuff before we had language. So they definitely were, like, thinking. So what did it feel like? Is that biocameral mind theory? I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to look that up. Maybe that's my next rabbit hole. I was like, that's such an interesting question. I don't know what it would take to feel. But then I started thinking about, like, well, what does it sound like for somebody that's deaf? What does it sound like in their mind when they're thinking? Like, it's not that complicated. What does it feel like? What's the phenomenon? So I'm like, I'm sure you could ask that question. For someone that, yeah, philosopher. Exactly. So I'm like, it's a fascinating thing. I feel like you can't really describe it. You have to experience it. Like, even if I turned deaf tomorrow, my voice would still sound the same because I grew up being able to hear. So I'm like, oh, that's an interesting question. It's so fascinating trying to, like, we all, like, kind of visualize the world differently. Anyway, I went down that rabbit hole because I was like, oh, that's such a cool question. That's very interesting. So fascinating. Like, but then I went down and hold another rabbit hole. And I learned about evolutionary anachronism. Oh my god, I watched and read so many freaking essays on evolutionary anachronism because it's such an interesting thing to me. It's like, when plants and animals have evolved to be either coexisting or compete, or if they were an animal, hunt it. I mean, even plants, they evolved some sort of thing alongside other species, and the other species that they evolved alongside is dead now, like extinct, but they still have it, and it's like pretty much useless, but they still have it. And I was going down this whole rabbit hole of that. It's because I was like looking at strange plants. Babies can't speak yet. What is it like for them? I know, right? Because it's like, it's interesting. I feel like it's such an interesting question. Yeah, October. That the apple thing where it's like, what does the apple look like in your mind? Or it's like, the difference between having a photogenic memory and not a photogenic memory. I don't know what I have. I feel like I'm pretty good at memorizing things, but I wouldn't say that I have like a photographic memory. Photogenic. Yeah, the pronghorn. But there's a lot more plant species that are like that. I specifically realized that I have a plant in my backyard that has evolutionary anachronism. It's very common in plants that have fruit with very large seeds. The one that's most cited is the avocado. How the avocado has a huge seed in the middle of it that none of the animals in its environment, like natural environment, are able to digest. Like they would choke on the seed, it's so big. But it evolved alongside like giant land sloths that would have easily been able to eat the seed and fertilize it and plant it further away from the tree. So it's only because of humans kind of picking up the slack for the avocado that it's still able to procreate as well as it is. But anyway, I found out that I have something in my backyard similar to the avocado. I have the pawpaw tree in my backyard. I have many pawpaw trees. They're super interesting. They have a fruit. It's called the pawpaw. And it's got big seeds in it. They're not as big as the avocado, but it does have pretty big seeds. I'd say like macadamia nut size seeds. But apparently, when it blooms, which I've never noticed before, the flowers give off a very like decaying stench. It's not a very pleasant stench. And they said that it was probably to attract like dung beetles and stuff that are not in the area anymore. Am I making an animation? I am, Funky. We are starting with the animation, yes. Going down a rabbit hole. Yeah, I wanna go down why, like, what's the engineering process behind rabbit holes? What's the average length of them? That'd be interesting, actually. Apprentice named Paw. Yeah. But there's a lot of them. It's more common in plants. A lot of the animal ones are more like how a lot of humans have like a fear of spiders and snakes and stuff. But I mean, that's still kind of a warranted fear because there are still deadly spiders and stuff and snakes around, but there might not be in your area. A lot of the ones in animals are like hearing specific sounds of creatures will whatever. I remember that they brought camels to America, and camels actually evolved in North America, and I think it was like the creosote bush that no other animal would eat. As soon as they brought camels to America, it would just eat it. And they were like, oh, so that's the animal that would eat this plant. But they're not here anymore. It's very interesting. I go down very strange rabbit holes. I mean, YouTube, I watch a lot of YouTube. Like, the majority of the time I'm drawing, I'm watching YouTube or Netflix, a documentary. I've been currently going down a lot more prehistoric rabbit holes. Yeah. It's very fun. It's just so fascinating. I love going down a rabbit hole where I specifically went down one with plants, and it was a guy that he was in school to study like botany and stuff like that. And he was just talking about some interesting plants that he had. And it was just like talking to a friend, right? It's like having a friend that's a botanist and they're just talking about all their cool plants. And I'm just like, that's so awesome. I don't know. I like watching videos like that, where it just feels like a friend's like talking to you about it. They're just geeking out. I am drawing Mothlight. Not to be mistaken with Mothwing. North American bats are finally learning that they can eat lanternflies. Oh, that's interesting. I was watching a video on, I think it was in the Galapagos, where they had what is it called? Are they zebra turkey? No, they're lionfish, right? Hold on. Lionfish? Yeah, the lionfish. That they're trying, that's like an invasive species. Maybe it's not in the Galapagos. Ah, shoot, where was it? Well, anyway, they're trying, there's a place that was introduced to lionfish, and they're an invasive species, and they're trying to teach the groupers and the sharks that they can eat them. And it's like an ongoing experiment, kind of controversial because it involves a lot of like human intervention. But then I started thinking, I'm like, when I was watching the video about like evolutionary anachronisms and like how we only have the avocados because we're pretty much the only ones cultivating the plant. Otherwise, eventually all the trees would die pretty much because there's no one to naturally eat the seeds and replant them. So I'm like, when I hear sometimes, it's so weird. Sometimes you hear where they're like, oh, this is a good argument to like reintroduce extinct prehistoric creatures into the environment, like woolly mammoths and stuff, so that we can continue keeping these plants alive. And I'm like, well, when is it like too much intervention from us? I'm like, we're starting to sound like Jurassic Park. Anyway. Yeah, they're horribly invasive. Lionfish, caiman. Okay. They're very pretty, but apparently they're pretty aggressive. Yeah, they are still part of the environment. But I'm like, part of me is like, maybe we shouldn't start reintroducing like woolly mammoths and stuff into the environment. I don't know if that's I'm like, I also watch a lot of stuff on like evolutionary gigantism. I have gone down that rabbit hole. Okay, hold on. Where's her hair at the top? Okay. Kind of stopped. Where, one of the best evolutionary things is just getting too big, like, big for your environment. Like, the bigger you are, the less predation you have, right? But being big comes with a lot of, like, you have to eat a lot. There's a lot of... So, I don't know. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk with me. We got an animation software yesterday. Ooh. Yeah. I'm not opposed to teaching the sharks and the groupers how to eat lionfish. I was more opposed to being like, Well, somebody was like, this is a good argument. The avocado, I remember. This is a good argument to try to reintroduce, if we ever could, giant sloths into the area to help these plants. I'm like, what? I feel like we missed like 3 steps in between those. No, I was kind of all on board for trying to teach the sharks and the groupers how to eat. Woolly pygmy mammoths. Those would be pretty cute. Okay, this is off. I just realized, so everything off this last line, this is not going to be shown on screen, so don't worry about it too much. Just FYI. For me. I'm reminding myself. Yeah, I think that's the main issue, is that they're kind of... Well, and then it was it was an interesting video. I could see both sides, because they were like, well, a lot of them are being conditioned, like with when they see divers with these spears, they're kind of like swarming the divers and getting really close and a little bit aggressive. The groupers, apparently they kind of hunt. They have been known to hunt with other animals, so the groupers will actually, if they see you with the spear, they'll like go to where the lionfish are and show you where they are so you can spear them for them. The tourist like industry in these areas where like snorkeling and like scuba is a very big part of just like the economy and stuff, appreciate that the sharks and the groupers are a little bit more active, because it gives the scuba tourists a better time. I don't know. Very interesting. Need to find a good animation software. I know a couple. Are you looking for like a free one, or one that's like a one-time purchase? The one that I'm using right now is Clip Studio EX. It is a one-time purchase, but it is a pretty pricey investment. And I believe it's only a one-time purchase on desktop. I don't believe it is a one-time purchase on iPad. Free. Krita. I think people use Flip-a-Clip. People use Toon Squid. I think those are all free. I saw a pretty fish. Been to the Titanic Museum in Pigeon Forge. But there's a Titanic Museum in Pigeon Forge? I was just there. They have a Titanic exhibit at the local science institute where I live. It's a very fun exhibit. I've done it a couple times. Why is it in Pigeon Forge? Why is it in the middle of the Smokies? Toon Squid is paid? I didn't know that. Toon Squid. I know Krita is not. Krita is a free download. I'm not sure what it's on. I think it's on iPad. Flip-a-Clip is free, but only worth using if you have premium. Where the Titanic was supposed to arrive. Ooh, I feel like we should go there. I like the Titanic. I listened to a very long podcast on the Titanic. It was very interesting. It made me learn a lot of stuff about the Titanic, but it also went up to present day. So I believe the last couple of episodes were actually about like James Cameron going to the Titanic, and then it ended on the Ocean Gate stuff. And like just like how the Titanic is very interesting. Isn't it like one of the only words in the English language that is known across the world? Like Titanic. Crazy. It's interesting to me that the reason the Titanic is so prevalent is because I mean, yes, a lot of people died in the Titanic. A lot of people died. But it's actually one of the shipwrecks where the most amount of people survived. So there's a lot of people that were telling the story of it and stuff like that. So an old episode? Oh yeah, I've watched the documentary. I don't remember if it came out on HBO or Netflix on the Ocean Gate. I've watched quite a few YouTube videos. The documentary was very interesting because it interviewed a lot of ex-staff members and like people that he ousted. It had some footage from the trial. Rough animator. Actually, I know it's still around. One of my first animation softwares was Pencil, and it's still around. I don't believe it's on anything other than, like, desktop, and I'm not gonna lie, I used it about 15, 16 years ago, and it was buggy, and I'm not sure if it got any less buggy. How long ago was the Titanic? It just got its 100th anniversary a couple years ago, right? Yeah, on the... Yeah. It sank in 1912. 114. Me, a couple years ago. Also me. A couple years ago. It's over a decade ago. Time is an illusion. Hey, Super. I am almost done. This is the last shot. I've done about half the animation. I'm kind of hoping that I finish the Mothlight animation today. After I finish Mothlight, we have to finish the layout, so I have to paint the layouts. They're all... One of them is completely painted, one of them just needs the background rendered, and then two of them need painted, like completely. I haven't started yet. And then we will have After Effects streams where I bang two rocks against each other and get very salty because After Effects just has that effect on me. The Ocean Gate disaster, yeah, that was very recent. Belfast, Ireland. I'll keep that in mind. There's a project to recreate the entirety of the Titanic in VR that I keep an eye on. It's a very interesting project. It's more of like I mean, it's not a video game, it's kind of like a walking simulator, but I believe they're doing it in like its glory, like on launch day, and then they're also doing it like as it's underwater. So it's a very interesting project. Will I post the designs? I should, yeah. Yeah, you're right, I should. I have no excuse. Absolutely no excuse. Like, yeah, I think it's all... There's like two... Titanic VR. Hold on. Titanic VR. It's a... No. Where is it? I'm not sure, but it's like, it's like a whole project. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really interested in a video game that's like the Titanic. I'm more interested in being, like, it would be very cool to, like, walk through it. I don't have a VR set, but... I feel like it would give you more of a scope of things. I've personally never been on a cruise ship, so I have no idea how big cruise ships are supposed to be. The Warrior Cats game. I'm happy. I've reached Zen, guys. I'm Zen. I've reached enlightenment. Amber last stream was like, I am surprised at how quickly you can get angry at silly updates. And I took that to heart, and I've done some retrospection, and I realize I'm not wasting any more negative emotions on it. I haven't been on a cruise ship. I haven't been on any ship that I've had to, like, stay the night on. I've been on, like, fishing ships where, like, you fish. I've been on, when I went to Niagara Falls, I was on, like, a passenger ship, but it was more like a ferry, I would say. I think it was a ferry. I've been on ferries, plural. I've been on mast ships. I remember in Toronto, I did a tour of the Toronto coastline on, like, a ship with masts. It was like a antique ship. I think if I was gonna pick a cruise to do, I'd do Alaska, for sure. There's an Alaskan cruise that I was looking at that I was recommended by my grandparents. It's a land and sea cruise, so it's like a tour, and it's partly on land and partly on the water, and you actually visit all of the national parks on that tour. And I'm like, yeah, that's the one I would do, probably. I was also looking at one for the Colorado. There's like a Colorado River cruise that seemed pretty interesting. Alaskan fishing trip. Wait, hold on. What was that? What was the crab? Deadliest catch. Wasn't that in Alaska? I'm wanted, dead or alive. I want to go to Maine and try lobster. There are so many places I want to go in the world. I want to go to New Zealand really, 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 really bad. I shipped something to New Zealand. Like, somebody bought something from my online shop and it was going to New Zealand. And when I was packing it, I'm like, man, this gets to go to New Zealand and I don't get to go to New Zealand. I'm very jealous of this package. Yes, Maine. I have relatives that live on a lake in Maine called Mooselook-me-Guntook, which I love that name. I love that name for a lake. Mooselook-me-Guntook. One of those huge chars. My sister snorkeled with sharks. She loves sharks. Oh yeah, Janetta, I'm going to New Zealand. There's no... I should go. I will be going to New Zealand. I'm manifesting it. I have so many years left to live. I'm sure I can spare a couple weeks to do New Zealand one day. The person who bought the package listening to that. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, this is the last frame for the wind blowing. New Zealand. I don't think New Zealand has as many spiders, does it? I thought that was Australia. Whatever. The bakeries? Oh, yeah. Bakeries everywhere other than America are so much better. Although in New York City, there are a couple bakeries that are really good that I would go to. It's just living in rural America. I mean, I get farm fresh a lot. I get a lot of farm fresh stuff. Like, I can get corn very easily. I can get eggs. I can get milk. But bakeries are not as popular in rural America. Although I do have a bread machine, so I could just make my own bread. But will I? Probably not. New Zealand's pretty spider-free. New Zealand's birds are some of the best birds in the world. Obviously, I mean, the kiwi is like one of my favorite birds, but there's also the, oh shoot, what's it called? The like heaviest parrot? What's it called? Shoot. New Zealand parrot. It's called the kakapo. The kakapo. Kakapo. Bakeries when you're away hit different. Yeah. Although there's a pretzel store. There's a pretzel shop in my little village. Oh my gosh. They do fresh pretzels, and yeah, they're really, really good. Maybe I'll have to grab some tomorrow. I want to go down to, if I go to New Zealand, I want to go to the island, the third island. What's it called? New Zealand's third island. It's called, Stewart Island, I think? It's got like a huge nature preserve on it. I'm going there. It's like the only island that doesn't have an invasive species that were introduced on the two other islands. If you're outside at 5 a.m., you can hear kiwis screaming. Oh my gosh, that's my dream. Alrighty, so that's done. So let's lock that. Let's work on her head, on her eyes. I'm actually, I think I'm going to, yeah, let's do her eyes next. Names an island Stewart. Stuart Little, of course. Okay. The opacity. Okay. And then this one. Someone told me a while that kiwis were extinct. They are on the critically endangered list, but they are not extinct. They are critically endangered, but the efforts to... They're critically endangered because predators that were introduced to the island that are invasive, such as stoats and rats, will go after their eggs. And so they will eat them before the eggs can actually hatch. So conservation efforts involve basically stealing kiwi eggs after they're born, letting them hatch in safety in labs, have them go into a nature preserve, and then once they're big enough, they get re-released into the wild. But they... yeah, I think they're still critically endangered. They are vulnerable now. They're a vulnerable species. Endangered status. They are threatened. I don't think that they're critically endangered. But it's all like the common issues that they face. Invasive species, forest deforestation, etc. But the only island in New Zealand where you can see them, like, just in your day-to-day, supposedly, is Stewart Island, where stoats and rats were not introduced to. Yeah. A rhino that's 2 females left. I think I have heard about that. Yeah, weasels and stoats will steal eggs. They do it to the... well, and then the kakapo apparently smell... a lot of the New Zealand birds have like a very strong scent, which is easily trackable by like cats and stuff. Cats, once again, reminder that your domestic cat is the #1 most invasive species in the entire world. And don't let them outside. Your PSA of the day. Have no breeding. Yeah, they're... I think they said something like their main predator... what... maybe that's not the one I was thinking of. I think it's like one of their main predators was like an eagle or some sort of like animal from the sky. And they will like freeze because it's good to have for like a bird of prey, but it's not good for like a ground predator. What, baby? Are you invasive species? Yeah. Yes, you are. You don't get to go outside, though. You do, but you have to be on a leash. I know. Oh, you're coming up, aren't you? What, baby? Are you gonna say hi to everyone? Hmm? Yeah? What's your favorite birdie? Oh, you like the finches. You like the goldfinches. Yes, yes, I know. You're, like, in the way, though, girly. I know. She actually meowed when I put, like, the microphone up to her this time, so you guys got a good crispy meow from her. Did we go in? Were we sheltering from 80-mile-per-hour wind this morning? And were you angry about it? Because I trapped you in that room with no windows. Yeah. You've had a morning, girl. Stop! You're pressing the button! Oh my god. Yes, you're pressing buttons. Oh, could you hear her purr? I'm What? The bed is ready for you. Take a nap. Okay. Kimchi and noodles. I love naming animals after food. It's my favorite thing. I approve of kimchi and noodles. Can you wiggle her pouch for me? Oh, I did. Don't worry, I did. Now everything's out of whack, though. What? I almost named our youngest cat Chimichanga. Chimmy is a cute nickname. Chimmy! Yes, I hear you. It's not time. No cuddles right now. We had cuddles this morning. Don't. Uh-oh. Am I still here? Chat disconnected me. It is starting to thunder again, so FYI, like I said at the beginning of stream, if I suddenly leave and I disconnect, my power probably went out. I probably won't be back. Hopefully it stays. Okay, it said chat disconnected, so... Yes, I hear you, baby. Stop, get off the... Girl. Oh my gosh! Now you're on the Z key. Stop it! Get off of the... There. Ay, ay, ay. Watership down. I want a rabbit so I can name it Blackberry. I take care of my neighbor's rabbit sometimes. Her name is Clover. Apple? I swear to God. She's hitting the tablet pen. And she's like 17 years old, so I kind of just let her do whatever she wants. So if she wants to hit the tablet pin, she can hit it. Okay, she's drawing, guys. Beautiful. Good job. Wow, did you draw a smiley face? I know, she's like hitting my mic. Stop it! Masterpiece. Apple! Stop. Girl, please. Please. Let me draw. Let me draw. I'm begging you. Yeah, I keep getting disconnected from chat. Okay. Anime in my see soon. Yay! Apple's gonna be angry. Are you gonna be angry? You can't come with me. You'd get more angry if you actually came with me, though. Okay. And then we have to do her lock this. And then we have to do her body, which we're gonna boil. Which means I'm just gonna trace over this. Don't touch the microphone. I think I mean, I'm dropping like all my frames right now. Hold on. It's evening out. I burnt my mouth on pizza last night. Okay, pizza is definitely the #1 offender of burnt mouth. For me, too. It's so freaking easy to burn your mouth on pizza. Do I read Wings of Fire? Yes, I have read Wings of Fire once. I am not as well versed in like anything Wings of Fire compared to Warrior Cats. But I have read it. I have not read the new book, and I haven't read all of the standalone books. I read the Darkstalker one. But I haven't read any of the other ones. Am I using a different mic? No. Am I? Does my voice sound crackly? There's background noise. I think it was just because Apple was purring into the microphone. She's not on the... She has settled onto the bed, so she is grooming herself, and she will probably take a nap now. But I also have my AC running. I can turn off my AC if you want me to. Hold on. I think it's pretty cool in here, and I have my fan going, so I'll go turn it off. Yeah, I get it, baby. No. I can't even get up here. Yeah, noise every time. It was probably picking up Apple's purring and then my AC. So I turned off the AC. But I have streamed a lot with the AC on. So it was probably just because Apple was purring right beside the mic and my noise gate just wasn't able to like prevent all of them happening. All of the little noisies. It's also thundering outside, so there's just like a lot of background noise today in particular. We are listening to the Paper Mario soundtrack. Well, some of the Paper Marios. I think it's just like from every single game. I can't help it, Snowly, so it might just not be the stream for you, unfortunately. Okay, I'll do one more. Read more Wings of Fire than Warrior Cats. Yeah, I know, I've read it. Didn't really capture me as much. Have I tried vector layers? No. Usually if I draw in vector, I'm drawing an animate. I don't even know what the vector layer... This is the vector layer? Interesting. No, I've just been drawing in raster. I think, I am good. I'm just cleaning up what I've already... tied down, so I don't really have too much need for manipulating. Hey, Chaos. Okay. After this, all I have to do is make her expression... She like kind of intensifies the bridge of her nose and her mouth. Go down. We're gonna copy and paste these. And then once we get here, we're going to erase that. Actually, no, not yet. It's the next one. Right there. So we're gonna copy this, paste this. We're gonna erase this. And then we're gonna take number 2, hit it with that, and we'll erase this. I am drawing Mothlight. And then we will take number 3, we will paste it. Erasey. Oh goodness gracious, it is thundering outside. I have no mouth and I must scream. We're supposed to get storms tomorrow. The amazing certain. I don't know. I have no mouth and I must scream is a book about human existentialism. Okay. I think all that I have to do left, all I have left to do is give her eyes a couple more frames. Yeah, I think that's it. And then I'll have to clean up. I'll clean up some of her frames. Can I just realized can I like I'll figure something out. Give me a sec. Well, it was a book first, so I'm sure that the game is inspired by the book, so anything derivative of the game is going to be inspired by the book. It's a very famous book. Okay. I have never seen the show, but I have read the book. It's a short read. Okay, the eyes need... just to be drawn over. I think I'm gonna draw over. I have to draw over this one. Okay, almost done, almost done, almost done, almost done. That's my pep speech to myself. Hey, Holly. Did we ever figure out who won Art Fight, you guys? Did they ever announce who won? It was comedy, probably, right? Weren't they winning like the whole time? I don't remember. Curse me and my desire to give all of my characters anime eyes that take forever to draw. Announced on the 16th. Does it take him that long? I mean, I guess I'm spoiled because like Splatoon and stuff, you know, like within like 30 minutes of it ending. Yeah, comedy was winning like the whole time, right? They have to go back through everything and double check points. Is it really that big of a deal? Is it that big of a deal? Are people really going to like be that caught up with it if they miss up the counting? Alright, Thunder, that's fine. Yes, we all know that you're here. Well, didn't Mystery kind of feel like it was tacked on at the end? I've heard a lot of people say that Mystery, it feels like, I mean, comedy and tragedy are historical and like it feels like Mystery was only there because they wanted to do 3 teams last minute. I don't know. They probably just were the underdogs. All of my art fight is from a outsider's perspective, by the way. I urge you to give me an insider's perspective. I don't know what else I mean, I don't know. Maybe they could have gone with a different theme. Do you think they'll do 3 teams again? I feel like it didn't really go over that well. I don't feel like I ever heard anyone say, man, I hope that they do this again. There's an anniversary team? All I heard is complaining on YouTube. I don't know. I never really heard any complaining about the teams, except for that it felt like mystery was not as integrated as tragedy and comedy. I mean, just because it's an anniversary thing doesn't mean that they can't keep doing it going forward. Like, it could have been introduced. I feel like because what I've heard is there was a team dominating, like, the entire month, they probably won't do it again, because what I've heard from previous years is that it's usually less... It's usually switches back and forth between who's kind of winning. Not about the teams seemed upset this year. I heard a couple of things. I heard some people were angry at folks with bigger followings joining for some reason. I heard that there was drama surrounding like the use of using models to help drawing. I don't know. I think people just like to complain, though. Well, this is the thing, right? And that's what I've noticed about social media in general, is that complaining gets you more views than being positive. Which I think is sad. So people just tend to complain. You get more clicks when you're complaining. Okay. Now I just have to color her. But how do I want to do her hair? Because oh, this is weird. Okay, I'm wondering. People got mad at a Homestuck creator. Whatever, man. Why can't people just be, like, have fun? Why do some people, like, it seems like they're not enjoying themselves unless they're complaining? Those are, like, some of the most exhausting people to be around. They take way too much, they take much more energy out of me than they give me. I just peace out. Okay. How do I want to color this? So... Ugh. The issue that I'm facing is that I can't... Do I want... Okay, her eyes are going to have to be on a different color, I think. Let me open up the shop before this and see how I organized her. I think I put her eyes. Yes. Okay. So I am gonna have to do a lot of different colors. Okay. So we'll do that. We will first color her eyes. Let's do her eyes first. Animation folder. We're gonna name this Moth Eyes Color. I am drawing moth light, yes. Moth eyes line. "100% people just want to complain." Yep. And guess what? You know, life is a lot better if you just enjoy things. And I'm trying to learn that with the warrior cats. Obviously, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because last stream I spent a lot of the stream complaining about the direction that warrior cats is being taken by the franchise owners. But you know what? I'm gonna try to just relax a little bit. Just relax. And have a good time. Refer to all layers. Does anyone else save all the attacks? I feel like I would, for sure, 100. Someone cared enough to draw my little guy. I'm so happy people like doing art fight. It seems like it's such fun. I really want to try to do it next year. I've been watching people do art fight for years from the sidelines. It seems like it's so fun. I'm gonna try to schedule myself so that I'm actually like free in July next year, so I can actually do art fight. So it just seems like a fun time. Okay. You should. You should print them out and put them on your wall. You should, you could make them, magnets. Okay. Whoa, tickle paws be upon me. Okay. Oh, goodness. I'm gonna have to... I'm gonna have to, like, squint really hard. Give me a sec. Perfect. 2 animated attacks? Holy crap. That is some dedication. People who do animated attacks are nuts. In a good way. Okay. Close. This is going to be, I think, the most tedious part. An hour and a half. I think we're gonna be painting some backgrounds at the end of this stream. Exciting. Okay. I was proud. Flex said I animated 90 characters this year. Nice. Very nice. I saw a couple of animated memes that my friends were in. Me when I'm just an eye. We'll add the story outline and stuff in After Effects. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to try to replicate what my Star Clan cats look like in After Effects. Alrighty, so the next thing I think I'm going to do is the body. So let's make another animation layer. We're gonna do moth, body, color. Wait, did you see the Shrimprella one mop animated? No! Wait, hold on, no! I want to see this. What? Art fight. What's Mop's art fight profile name? Tickle paws. Mop. Okay, so it's the same. Mop 4, 5, 6. Is there a space, like a hyphen or something? I'm not getting it. Okay, I got it. It would be under attacks. Oh my gosh! Wait! Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. It's so cute. Look at him. Oh my goodness. making soup. Look, it's Darktail. Oh, that's so cute. Wait, I'm saving this. Shrimprella. Oh my goodness. And then Picklepaws and Darktail. Oh. Leaf Paw. Okay, that is Leaf Paw. Yeah, I'm Pine Leaf. And then Dark, and then Rowan. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so cute. Look at him. He's so silly. The shrimpy. Shrimp, 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 shrimp. That's so cute. I gotta put Shrimprella on my art fight profile, apparently. Alrighty. What were you doing? My face hurts because I was smiling so much. See, that's what art fight's all about. Art fight is supposed to make you smile so much that your face hurts. Alrighty. What I'm gonna do is erase all of this stuff. Which is gonna be bold. Okay, I need to lower the tolerance, I think. Yeah. Do I put any characters? Well, I've never joined Art Fight. I think the only characters I have on my Art Fight portfolio... Keep in mind, I've never joined a team. Yeah, I just have Apple and then my 2 human characters. And it's like old Apple too. She hasn't changed. Really. I could pretty much just draw her the same. I think the only thing that's changed is that her ears, I no longer make her inner ears yellow. I make like the tough yellow. And then her inner ear is like a regular color. But you can still draw her like this. I don't really care. And then I have Clark. And I have Shun. He works at a... They both work at a pet shop. He's the mascot, so he goes outside and, like, spins the sign. Clark works inside, though. But yeah, I never join Art Fight. I just use... I have an account so that I can watch. I can, like, sneak on my friends. Because you can't view Art Fight portfolios if you don't have an account. I just never join. Oh, yes. The Cinder Bright for the pins, the Cinder Bright Bracken and Thorn is actually like one of the most popular picks. I didn't think so, but it's actually, I think that it's like the 4th most popular. Like, it's more popular than the Dove and Ivy, which is interesting to me. But it is a really good pin. It's just a cute little kitten pin. Who's the most popular? I can tell you. So the final count so far, I have 78 people who have completed the survey. The final counts are the most popular enamel pins. Fire and Scourge is the most popular one for enamel pins. And then it's Jay Lion and Holly. And then it's Squirrel and Leaf. And then it's the Cinder Bright Bracken and Thorn. And then Dove and Ivy. So it's like really high. It's when I remember when I did the survey, Blue and Snow was the 4th highest, and they're pretty high, but not as high as everyone else. That's not what I was expecting either, no. So that's why you wait to send out your that's why you wait to get your order until people send out the survey. Because I feel like I probably wouldn't have made as many. I think when I got my, well, no, because when I got my quote for Cinder, Bright, Bracken, and Thorn, I think I only asked for 100. And right now my projected count is 111, so... yeah. And I'm not sure how many extras I should get. I'm not sure yet. Anyway. I'm hoping, they said that 80% of people usually respond to the surveys within the first week that you send it, which is, it's looking like that's going to happen. So I'm hoping I will be able to place my order for the pins next week, early next week, before I leave for New York. You expected the 3 to be the most? No, I always knew that the Fire and Scourge one was going to be super popular. It's definitely going to be like one of the most popular in person as well. Like selling at conventions, Scourge just sells very well. So I'm not super surprised. I am surprised for the Kickstarter, but I think the Kickstarter, I don't know. Expected them to be like 3rd, yeah. Who's the least popular? The least popular is tied with Pebble Sparrow and Owl, which I knew. I pretty much only did Pebble Heart Sparrow for an Owl Eyes because I wanted them, and then also I needed another Dawn of the Clans to go with Jackdaw and Feather. And then Sleek Strike and Juniper, which again I knew that they wouldn't be that popular. That was more for me. And then Tiger Flame and Dawn. So those are the 3 least popular. So pretty much exactly what I assumed would be the least popular. All of my, like, self-indulgent ones. Just for me. Oh, they're for Tiger Heart, too. Tiger Heart fan. The most popular mini print is the first one, the Squirrel and Leaf with Jay, Lion, and Holly. The second popular one, the Battle at Sunning Rocks is actually the least popular. Dove and Ivy and Gray's Farewell are tied, but all the other ones have pretty much the same amount. Yep, interesting. Very interesting. But I'm not super... The only one I was surprised at is how many people picked the Frostverse Kids litter. It does have Cinderpelt and Brightheart on it, which I guess I shouldn't have been surprised, but the fact that neither of them have, I guess, their injuries yet, so they're a little less recognizable. I don't know. I'll be interested to see how they sell in person. Dove and Ivy and Greywing. Nice. I like those two. Those are definitely... The Greywing one is my favorite one. Obviously. I had somebody that was messaging me and they're like, I'm so happy you have so much Dawn of the Clan stuff. And I'm like, if there's no more Dawn of the Clans merch, then I'm dead. I'm like, I will always put in some Dawn of the Clan stuff in everything I do. Not only is it like, there's so many people on Etsy, like I'll see people doing Etsy stickers and stuff of like main protagonists, and they'll skip Dawn of the Clans. They never have any Dawn of the Clans official merch. I'm like, fine, I'll remember that it exists. Also, I accidentally just typed in Dawn of the Clans instead of color right here. Yeah, the Battle of Sunny Rocks one is probably, I liked the color palette that I went with for it. I like them all. I was satisfied with how all of them turned out. You also got a sticker? Yeah. They'll all be available on the shop afterward if you ever wanted another one. The Squirrel and Leaf pin and the 3 pin I'm definitely gonna have a lot of. I don't think I will ever not have them again. Like, I'll probably restock them many times. Alrighty, let's switch to a Mario Kart Bops for speeding through the rest of this animation. Oh shoot, I just realized that I kind of messed up here. Ugh. Hold on. I think what I'm going to end up doing is maybe something... Maybe if I don't scale it? Ugh, I just realized how much I messed up. This is why I kind of wanted the color all on one layer. I don't want to hurt my eyes, but I want it to be like a color where I could see. Maybe like red, yellow. I want to be able to see. What do I want to do here? I have an idea. I'll switch to the body color. I'm going to sort of do this. I'm gonna read First Battle in my chronological reread. Nice. Waiting on a completed commission. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the shipping and stuff for the pins aren't going to be, I don't think they're going to be charged until, like, November or October. Whenever they ship, they recommend you charge when you ship. Like, a week before you're about to ship out is when you do like the shipping fees and stuff. So that stuff isn't going to show up for a while. Yeah, because the stuff up here is just yeah, the stuff up here, this is all screen safe stuff. So technically the top of her hair should not be showing. So I think we're good. And then I can just crop this. Oh gosh, this is getting to be crazy. Yeah, it was hard too. That's why I buy everything. Choices is hard. Choosing is hard. That's why I usually just pledge for everything too. It's okay. Yeah, and I'm thinking of offering like a little bit of a discount to like backers for the initial campaign for the shop, so like that'll show up with your pledge. It'll be either like free shipping or something, I don't know yet. Just as like a little thank you for supporting the initial funding. Alrighty. Okie dokie. Mate pins. I really don't think that I'm the right person to pick to like do mate pins, mainly because I'm not a huge shipper myself. It feels a little, I feel like I'd have to force myself to draw, and then also just like the discourse on that side of the fandom kind of scares me. I'd be much more interested in doing like mentor apprentices or like parental or I don't know, leaders with their medicine cats or something. I'm not sure. But I could also do like pins where you kind of like pair them up yourself. as well. Like you buy two and they like, you can like switch swap them out. Yeah, Curl Feather and Frost On is definitely one. I have a lot more ideas for doing like parents with their kids than the mentor and apprenticeship one is okay, but I feel like there's not as many ideas I have for it that I'm as gung-ho about than I am for the parent. Because then I kind of like skipped over all of a Starless Clan during the sibling pins because none of the Starless Clan sibling relationships really, I thought, had an appeal to me. But I could do a bunch of pins in the parental one. Berry Heart Sunbeam, Frost On Curl Feather, Nightheart with like Spark Pelt or with his grandparents might be interesting. Even like Nightheart with like Firestar would be, I feel like you could do a really interesting pin design, like an illustration or a comp with that. One Eye and Starflower would be fun. Berry and Sun, yeah. And then you could do like Tree and Root, which would be fun. And then Tiger and Shadow Sight, I think is really fun. Could do some like jumbo ones with whole family members, like a big pin with like Sandstorm, Firestar, and like Leaf and Squirrel. I would love to do a jumbo pin of Barley and Raven with Riley and Bella, like from Ravenpaw's Farewell. That'd be so cute. Smoke and Darktail could obviously be one. Darktail and 1-star as well. I feel like Darktail and 1-star would probably be a better composition. Clear Sky and his 9 kits. True. Leader and Deputy. Yeah, or like a Leader and Medicine Cat would be fun. I had the idea for the sibling pairing of Sunstar and Feather Whisker. Some of them I feel like wouldn't be... I had this like crazy idea, guys. I was in the, as usual, as per usual, I was just driving in my car. Not right after a beer. I was driving in my car to my haircut and I had the craziest galaxy-brained idea that I was like, wait a second. I wish that I could do this at home. It was, I think I was watching like a podcast or something. I think I was watching a Yu-Gi-Oh video and like, and they were talking about card binders. And I was like, what if I created card-sized illustration, like of every single of the Warrior Cats design blog cats, and I had a binder filled with all of the designs. I was like, I would love that. I'm like, I need that. That'd be fun. Not like playable cards, just like card-sized illustrations. I'm like, I need a printer that can print this. Get an idea for a double-sided charm? Go for it. Yellowfang Ragged Star, Yellowfang Broken Star. Oh, yes. Yeah, you could do Yellowfang and Ragged and Broken. I feel like Night Star and Running Nose would be fun. Barkface and Tall Star. My Tall Bark propaganda. And then like Cinderpelt and Firestar would be fun. Sucks we never got Squirrelflight and Leafpool. I feel like Yellowfang with Blue Star would be really fun too. Mudfur with Leopard Star would be good too. I mean, that would be also parental. Brambleberry with Crooked Star. There are a lot of ideas I have swimming around in my brain. Not enough time to do all of them though. Okay, there's one frame that's messed up. And then for some reason, why is it doing that? Oh, is it because my onion skin's on? Yeah. Brambleberry and Darktail do have very similar descriptions. I think it's done. Let's look at all the shots. Okay, shot one is right here. This is not it though. That's not the actual. Where's the actual ones? It's finished somewhere. Where did it go? There's 4. Where did it go? Hold on, let me check my file server. Shot 2, Annie Clean version 2. Mop! We were watching it. It was so cute. Yeah, here it is. No, this isn't it either. Because it doesn't have the rest of the characters. Where's the actual... Oh goodness, I need to find this actually. Give me a sec. Is it in my downloads? Okay, here is this shot. This is the cleaned up shot. Let's move this over. But where is this other one? Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? Shot 1. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? Part 36. Shot 1. Annie Clean. Okay, here it is. Here it is. It's in this folder. Okay, found it. So this is the first shot. I need to clean up the background on this shot still a little bit. That's the first one. Here's the second one. This background's done. She's walking. She's walking. And she walks up. The wind starts. And then they intensely stare at each other. What does she say? She goes, this one is I am what? And then this one is I am cuz. I am cuz. And then, oop. You trained me. You trained me. You trained me. And then they just stare. The color difference on each side. Yeah. Mothlight will be semi-transparent. Okay, so the next thing that we have to do is clean up this background. I just have to clean up this last, just the canopy a little bit, I think. Then we have to do this background and then this one. So we're gonna switch over to Photoshop. Program is Photoshop CC. So we're just gonna clean up this one's done, this one's done, this one's done. So we just have to clean up the background layer. So let me mark these as green. But I am going to be right back. You guys can check this out while I'm gone. And I'm just gonna go get some more coffee, so I'll be right back. I'm back. Alrighty. I got a coin bag for my shoulders. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I just want to clean up the canopy right here with this brush. Hey Amber, you came back at the perfect time. I just finished getting some more coffee. I'm gonna keep this at 100% zoomed because this is not gonna be printed out, so it just has to look good at 100% for me. It's also only going to be on screen for like a second. Just kidding. My eyes are hurting already from keeping it that zoomed out. Industry nonsense today? Oh goodness. I have some hope about a job. It's due to the producers choosing to be evil. So they chose violence. I see. I see. Choosing violence is certainly something. That they can do. Which of the designs you created do I like the most? Well, River Ripple is the one that I'm overall the most satisfied with. That's why he's the icon of the blog. So he's definitely on top of the list. Most of the time, I like a design based on vibes. So Tree, I also really like. Tree, I think I captured his vibes pretty well. Like, this is pretty much exactly what he looks like in the books for me. And then Darktail's also up there. And notice how, this is when I'm like, oh, maybe I should stop adding hair to cats. But notice how every single one of my designs I'm most satisfied with has hair. So then I'm like, nah, I don't think I'll ever stop adding hair to my cats. Except for Strike Zone. Strike Zone's definitely up there too. I'm pretty much like, this is perfect. This is him. I don't take any suggestions. He's bold. I don't know. I'm also pretty satisfied with all of my Dawn the Clan leaders. Like all the founders. Yeah, Sparrowstar needs updated. I have updated her colors. She needs a revamp. Her shapes are still the same. I just I just updated her colors. Something like that, I guess. That's good enough. I think that's perfectly acceptable for a background. Okay, next. That one's done. Let's open up shot 3. Yes, you will be able to purchase them at a later time, Kenny. They will, everything that was on that Kickstarter will be available on my online shop after all rewards or all backers have gotten their stuff shipped out. They will be available. I'm hoping that they'll be available for ordering on my online shop before the Christmas season. But it'll depend on how long it takes my manufacturer to create the designs. So it just depends. I'm pretty confident that once I get the stuff, I can get everything fulfilled within like 2 weeks, so it just depends. Because I have like 4 people that are going to be helping me fulfill orders, at least. Shot 1. Shot 3. What's a childhood show I still watch? I mean, I guess Warrior Cats fills that. It's not a show, but I still watch things from Warrior Cats. Okay. Where's the sketch? Boards. There it is. Okay. Yeah, Clip Studio not having boards is very detrimental to my working process. You're working on Who's Afraid of Little Me? Yay! Hey, Saturn. But a childhood, an actual show that I still watch is probably SpongeBob. I've had a very strong desire to rewatch Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically the 4Kids stuff. I'm excited for Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. It's Dreamy is hosting it just like we hosted projects in like 2016, and it's very nostalgic, and I'm really enjoying like the collaboration and like the freedom for each person's part, but we're still kind of like looking at each other's and trying to like, I don't know. It's so, I love it. I love maps, you guys. I love this community. I only wish for everybody to have the same like great experience that I had, like collaborating with people. Make so many good memories. Okay. color this one red so I don't accidentally. Not the 4K stuff. I know, it's so bad, but it's like my childhood, right? I feel like I need to like watch it. Okay, this one for my brushes don't make your art good. Brushes don't make your art good. Brushes don't make your art good. We watched some SpongeBob. Yeah, SpongeBob's like peak. SpongeBob, I feel like for my generation, because I know a lot of people will like get into animation now. It's kind of like a meme that like people get into animation nowadays because of the Warrior Cats fandom. But I feel like for me, I always wanted to create cartoons and stuff, or like anime, or like be part of a TV show because of how much I appreciated that no matter how much differences I have with somebody that's like my age, we both watch SpongeBob, and we can just quote SpongeBob. Like there's that common, and that's a lot for a lot of cartoons, that is the case, where it's like I just love that connection that it brings, like an entire generation of like the cartoon that you watched when you were a kid. It's a little thing, but it's so special. I watched Pokemon when I was growing up, yes. I watched, I watched a lot of the first 4, like, generations. Watch LTA Tigray. I remember that. I don't remember it being, like, super... I don't remember watching it a lot. I watched Foster's Home a lot. Really loved Foster's Home. Loved Chalk Zone. Loved Fairly Odd Parents. Jimmy Neutron. I feel like those were in SpongeBob. Those were like my main shows. I feel bad for kids nowadays because Pokemon card collecting is like impossible in the way that we used to do it when I was a kid. Because they're all like being bought by people that are my age still. I don't know. Kind of makes me sad. I know. I remember for I think it was like one of my friend's birthdays, or maybe it was for a Christmas gift. I was giving somebody just a Christmas card, but I wanted to give them a Pokemon booster pack, like in the gift card. I had to go to like 5 different stores to find just a single booster pack I could buy. Because they were all like... all of them were sold out. People used to print off Pokemon cards and cover them with tape and pretend they were a real one. I did that. I did that. Oh, yeah. Ugh, I love Pokemon. Sometimes. It's one of the few card games I like to play, and of course it got taken in by the greediest people. All card games are like that nowadays. Yeah, Pokemon card trading, I feel like it's, yeah, it's sad. That is not the right brush. I was like, what is happening? Where's my starry brush? There it is. Backgrounds are intimidating. Yeah, they can be intimidating. You can... This background is a pretty intimidating background because it's got a full-on foreground, midground, and background. But the shot that I'm going to be working on after this is just a flat background. I have a tip that I would say that if you're intimidated in drawing backgrounds, definitely start by just blocking out with like shapes and grids what you're hoping to do. So like use a perspective grid, but sometimes I just like do lines and kind of like you can see how I did it with the tree right here. Like, do you see these little circles that are on the tree? That was me kind of like wireframing the tree while I was drawing it. Doing backgrounds for animation like this, it's a little less intimidating for me. Okay, so those are both stars, and I'm keeping so stars 2, and then I did like a screen layer, which I don't really need to do. And then I have a moon layer. Nice. Nice that I didn't label any of these, by the way. I need to make sure I do that before I switch over to After Effects. Otherwise, I'm going to be very confused. Background is so little focused. Oh, that's the other thing, right? As somebody that, like, makes backgrounds for animations, but then I also make backgrounds for illustrative pieces, I do have to remind myself for a background like this that it's not printed out, it's not going to be on somebody's wall, no one's going to be looking at the background. There's 2 characters that are moving like a lot in the foreground of this. So don't worry, don't sweat the small stuff, basically. Don't worry too much about getting every single little tiny detail correct on this. This isn't like a camp illustration. It just has to... Basically, you want the background to not eat the characters, but you also don't want it to take away from the characters, and that just... I don't know. Shrugs. I like drawing backgrounds though, so I get in like the zone. How my background's an intermission. Yeah, it's got foreground elements, right? Foreground elements can really help bring depth to the scene. For sure. Oh, see ya, Amber. Oh, you'll still be here? Okay, okay. Yeah, sorry about the whole entire industry kerfuffle. That sucks. For sure. Alrighty, this is the sky. So what I usually do, after I've done all that stuff, I kind of go in a little bit. And I sort of lighten up certain areas. Where there's a lot of brighter stars. And then I darken up areas where there's no stars. The way the background moved in Roxanne. Roxanne was done entirely in Adobe Flash, by the way. That was one of my last parts that was done entirely in Adobe Flash. I do think that I did a little bit of editing in After Effects, but the backgrounds were done in Flash. I don't think any other part after that was done entirely in Flash. Let me check. Let's see. Painted Black, no. I think Cinder... Christmas was. iPod was. Okay. Kamiro Awase was... Devil's Backbone was not. The Mute was done in Photoshop. Rolling Thunder was done in Photoshop. Roxanne Part 22's backgrounds were in Photoshop. Jimmy was in Photoshop. Roxanne's 16's backgrounds was in Photoshop. Jimmy Whispers was in Photoshop. Yeah, so Roxanne, the fire one, that was the last part that I did entirely in Animate. Okay. Yeah, Little Pistol's being worked on. Yes, indeedy. Actually, I think I'm going to use this brush to block out the things because it's a little more fuzzy. It'll do a better job at emulating the sort of painted look I'm going for with this far background. How much longer will I be streaming? Well, probably, I think I'll go till 6 today, so probably another 40 minutes. I have my coffee still that I'm still drinking. We'll see if I can finish this background / the next one. It'd be awesome if I could, but I'm not confident that I can paint this entire background in 40 minutes. We'll see though. I mean, I am just referencing the first shot, so I don't have to use too many brain cells. I'm doing a frame-by-frame scroll flight animation for a part. Is it your first time doing frame-by-frame? That's exciting. I wish you the best of luck. It does take a decently long amount of time, though. Zoom in a little bit. just in comparison to the full action. Wait, hold on, I didn't see. Next couple shops are super easy, minimal. Fair enough, fair enough. I am hoping to finish this soon. Oh, yes. I forgot to mention that I'm going to be going on vacation next week. I kind of snuck up on me, I'm not going to lie. I didn't realize that it was so soon. I'm going to New York again. So I will not be streaming next week. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm going to Anime NYC. I usually stream, well, the last couple months I've only been streaming maybe like once or twice a week, but my schedule is supposed to be 3 times a week. New York, Broadway. I don't have to go to Broadway. I have gone to see Broadway shows. I've seen 2. They were both fun. I just don't usually plan trips around Broadway shows. I don't know what's being played right now that I would want to go see. Wait, hold on, let me look. Broadway shows. I don't know. See Hades Town. I'd see Moulin Rouge. Moulin Rouge is on. I've seen maybe Happy Ending. And I've seen Come From Away. Don't see Moulin Rouge. I'm telling you this because I care about you. Well, I feel like if I went to a Broadway show, you'd be coming with me too. So we'd have to both agree on the show. Nah, I've got a pretty full schedule already. I feel like if I went to a musical, it'd have to be like Wednesday night or like Monday. Kind of wish that I could see Water for Elephants. Is Water for Elephants still happening? I don't think so. I've also heard that Two Strangers Carry Cake Across New York is kind of fun. Whatever, man. Wait, there's an eclipse? Ugh. Warrior cats around the globe are freaking out. There's a solar eclipse on the 12th, but its totality is over Greenland and Spain. Interesting. We got to experience the total eclipse a couple years ago in Ohio. That was fun. It is a pretty surreal experience. Not gonna lie. No coverage in Georgia. Sad. Yeah, don't worry about that. Get some extra trees in the background. think I'm gonna keep, yeah, I'm gonna keep the bushes up here pretty light because the grass in the front, well, there's also gonna be a big old leaf pool on top of them, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. What, baby? Did you wake up from your nap? Are you here to terrorize the masses again? If you are, for whatever reason, in Nebraska, I can show you the 3 things to do. I feel ya. Living in a state that also has, like, 3 things to do. I understand. Something like that. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more blue on this edge. Do you have any tips for frame by frame? Embrace the pain. Just have fun. I feel like animation is... So do you guys know that meme? It's not really a meme. It's more of like a thesis on art blocks and stuff like that. What's the graph? Hold on, let me find the graph. Here it is. Creative burnout. Art is a cycle. It's like a thesis. This thing, right? I don't know why this is so freaking tiny. I know for a fact that you can find this picture bigger. Why is it so tiny? Okay, here it is. Okay. Have you guys seen this graph? This is a graph that explains like the different art highs and art lows that you get. Where this is like art block, skill at seeing and evaluating art. So with animation in general, I feel like I've been stuck in this sort of mindset for animation where I can evaluate animation at a better level than I can actually draw it in. And in order for me to come back up from that, I actually have to like put time and effort and lots of stuff into animation. So that's why I've really fallen out of animation. What I've actually ended up doing is kind of accepted the fact that I am not going to be at like this level of animating anytime soon. And I'm trying to accept the fact that I'm not like right here. Because that final jump up requires so much, like, I feel like I have to relearn a lot of bad habits that I have in animating and stuff like that. So, but for a long time, my animation, I was right here. And I feel like I've never jumped up to the next part of that for animation in general. Anyway. But yeah, so I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I have accepted that I don't really... I suppose I kind of accepted the fact that I don't like animation as much as other people. I don't like animating enough to jump to the next part of my animation journey where I'm back at the art high of animating. There are other aspects that I love a lot more that I'm willing to put in time and effort to like continually improve in, and animation is not one of them. So I've accepted that, and I'm trying not to let it hold me back to be like, oh, well, I don't want to animate this because it's not going to turn out the way that I want. So instead of like, I'm just trying to give myself the same amount of leniency that I would give a friend, you know? Like, I try to just step back and sit and go, if one of my friends sent me this animation on Discord right now, what would be my response? Just every once in a while when you're like drawing, especially if it's not turning out exactly the way that you'd want. Yeah. I am not a fan of restarting projects. I mean, I have in the past, like for example, but usually when I restart projects, it's because like for Little Pistol, I restarted my boards for Little Pistol after I underwent a very long journey to like learn how to board better and stuff like that. But I didn't restart the boards. I more like redid them. Like I had already completed them and I just went back and redid them. Which even then, sometimes I'm not... I try not to do too often because you can get into this rut of like, you don't make anything new and you just kind of like start recreating the same stuff that you did. Although it is nice to see improvement. I just try to make sure that I'm balancing it with new stuff as well, you know? But that's like a problem for somebody that, like me, that's drawn for a lot of years. I don't really think it's a problem. I know tons of people that'll do a redraw of a very specific picture every year to try to notice improvement. I don't know. I try not to police how people draw that much. For me, drawing is always... for the longest part of my life, drawing was a hobby, and in my mind, I'm like, as long as you're having fun, I don't see any problems with drawing a certain way. But once it starts to become not fun is when I think you need to refocus. Hey, Sailor. Wait, when did I make Sailor a mod? Well, I guess you're a mod now. I guess maybe you've always been one. Maybe the mods are the friends we made along the way. In fact, that is exactly what they are. I've been a mod for honest to God 10 years. Yep, sounds about right. Glad to see that you're still around. I should probably clear out my mod list one day, but also I'm lazy. Yeah, Amber, that's what I'm trying to do. I mean, it's not that I don't want to put my all into making maps, but this is the thing that you run into when you're someone like me and Amber that have been doing parts for a very long time, is that there's a constant urge to make sure that your last part meets the standards / like is better than the previous part that you did. And I think that it gets to a point where it's literally impossible for you to do that. Like, it's very mentally exhausting to continue to work like that. So that's why when I was like cleaning up the first shots animation, people would be like, oh, well, aren't you going to animate the other characters? Aren't you? As soon as I animated Squirrel Flight in that shot, I was like, I'm tired of animating this shot. I'm not having fun. I'm just going to leave everything. At the end of the day, it's a Warrior Cats map that a bunch of friends are doing. I am not putting it in a reel or anything. So I don't care. It's just for fun. I feel like constantly joining parts and stuff because you want to put them in an animation reel or you want it to be... I mean, I'm also somebody that does take parts and have taken parts in the past that have challenged me to do something that I don't like doing. Like, okay, I'm going to take this part with water because I want to learn how to do water better, or I'm going to take this part with whatever. But you should allow yourself to not make something perfect every single time. God knows my reel doesn't need more cat. I don't have a reel. I think on my portfolio website I just have my channel trailer for this as like my animation. Quote unquote reel. I don't know. I think that a lot of people treat maps as too... I was talking about this with somebody else. I feel like... I don't remember what we were watching, but we were watching a map. It was hosted fairly recently, and when it got to the credits, there were pre-production credits, and there was like 6 people credited for the pre-production of it. And I sat there. I don't remember what map it is, and I'm not, let me finish my thought before you like start to argue with me. Because I'm not saying that there's not a place for stuff like that. But as somebody that's been here for a very long time, when I see that there was like 6 or 7, frick, I did the stupid meme, people on pre-production, it's no longer a map to me. It's like a collaborative project. It's like a thesis film. It's a more of a comprehensive thing. It needs a new name. I feel like projects like that in the community are getting advertised to new animators and people that are just joining, and they are expecting, I feel like, a lot more than what a map should expect. I'm not saying that there's not a place for those things in the community. I'm just saying that I feel like we need a new name for that stuff. Because at the end of the day, I'm not here to police what people decide to host and what people decide to create. I'm just saying that I feel like it's a little disingenuous to have the same name as like a project that has just a script, like this one, just a script, some designs, and then it's just like a couple of people animating whatever they want. No boards. I don't know. It was a beautiful project. I remember it being fine. Well, that's the thing, right? I guess I grew up in an era of the community where, what do you mean pre-production? Is exactly what like, no one pre-produced. We did scripts sometimes. Sometimes we didn't do scripts. And there was eventually set designs. And then that was it. Now there's storyboards, there's color keys, there's concepts that you have to follow, there's environmental references, It's that I see people do calls for people to design cats for their projects. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, and I'm not saying that there's not a place for these. They're beautiful. I'm just saying I feel like there needs to be a different name. It's kind of like how Little Pistol, I'm doing Little Pistol, and there's going to be multiple. Hold on. There we go. There's. I don't want this one. I want this one. I'm not. Like, how Little Pistol is going to have multiple animators working on it. I am going to be assigning out shots, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not calling it a map. It's going to be a community. It'll be a community project. I'm probably going to label it as, like, an animated music video. But I feel like calling it that is a little, I don't know. It feels weird to call it that. But I do come from a different era than a lot of people that are active in the fandom right now. So I do understand. And it's probably, I don't know if it's like a big idea or like a huge thing, but it is something that I've noticed. Yeah, for me, a map will always be something that's a little bit less like produced, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Eris. This map doesn't have storyboards, backgrounds, or shading guides, but there are people in the Discord that are constantly asking for them. So I can tell. I can tell that a lot of people have them. I think that's good enough, honestly. Maybe add a little bit of blue over here. Yeah, make it pink. Who cares? Color palettes is something that I typically... So I started doing them in Everything Moves. Mainly because... it helped me script it to do the color keys for Everything Moves. Saturn, just don't do it. I don't do that. I don't do storyboards or background. I mean, I guess I do color keys, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I still have StarClan's Chosen, all of its like material that I gave people. I think a couple of people asked for like, I mean, I do color keys because that's genuinely one of my favorite things to do. I just love doing color keys. I mean, you guys are watching me paint right now. I love doing color keys. I love coloring. You guys aren't ready for me to host my 30 Seconds to Mars scriptless, designless, backgroundless. First come, first serve. Not, well, first come, first serve on, you guys aren't ready for that one. I don't think you guys are ready. Just saying. You could do Darktail for it. My Now imagine me doing like the alien sky pose. Whenever I describe my warrior cat ideas, I always am like the alien sky, the ancient aliens pose. This is my prompt, is that it will be a scriptless map, but you have to pick a scene from Warrior Cats. And the song involves there's a lot of lyrics. It's kind of like watery. And so you have to pick a theme, but it has to be, or you have to pick a scene, but it has to involve water in some way. So that's the only requirement. And then also I'll mark down what scenes have been taken so we don't get like 40 blue star falling into the river parts or something. I don't know if you guys are ready for that one. Yeah, leaf palm mothwing fishing. It just has to have water. I would love for it to be like an actual scene in the book, which that is an actual scene in the book. Oh no, honestly, I like joining maps that don't have color keys because like I said, that's my favorite part. So I would love to join a map that doesn't have color keys because then I get to make my own. I get to be big and greedy. My obscure favorite characters into a scene with water? Wait, what's your favorite characters? I mean, Clear Sky, you could do Clear Sky's group jumping across the river from the fire in Thunder Rising. You like Black Star, right? Oh, Black Star drowns. Echo Song going into the Whispering Cave. Yep, there's water in it. You just have to have the water in the scene. You could do Leaf Paw finding the Moonstone. Cinderheart's Hydro... Yeah, exactly. There's lots of interesting themes that you could go with. I think that it's like a good enough... It's like a vague enough theme that you could do a lot of stuff with. You could do like the flood. You could do Feathertail falling on Sharptooth, but just make sure that the waterfall is in the shot. Spireclaw and Fringe Whisker. You could draw them at the island, the Gathering Island, next to the riverbed, where they're like, "Oh my God, we finally get to be together! Yay!" I got you. Wasn't it raining? Sure, yeah, add rain. She dies next to the riverbed, though, sweetie. Oh, when Moonflower died. Oh, I thought you were talking about Rainflower. Yeah, you could, and then you could have, like, a puddle. I don't know. You could do, like, a lot of interesting things. Crazy buff to River Clan? True. I feel like every single... I mean, you could do, like, Sandgorse Drowning. Yeah, the sea. There's a couple of sea shots you could do, for sure. Yeah, the dam. You want to animate the beaver dam? Just oh my. Well, actually, I mean, if somebody wants to try that, then all the more power to you. In my mind, I thought it was a really awesome idea. I don't know. Maybe since the Frostpaw map's been kind of like I haven't been able to really work on it, which sucks. And I wanted to do it in the summer, but summer's basically over. Maybe I'll just do the 30 Seconds to Mars scriptless this year. And then the Frostpaw one I can keep working on. Yeah, but that's my idea was like, oh, well, it'll be good at practice. And then honestly, I probably would make it like if you just want to do a PMV, you can, because I don't care. I just want it to be fun. I've had it on my brain for a couple of years. To do. It does sound like fun. And it's the 30 Seconds of Mars song, which is like classic Warrior Cats. And then also, I don't think I'd have set designs either. You could just use whatever design you want. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna require you. If you're the only part with, like, Darktail in it, then you might as well just use your Darktail. Who cares? I can do a little watermark on one of the sides that kind of describes. That's like what the scene is. Like it just has like the prompt. I know, I'm gonna have to time it with the release of a certain website. When I was 24, I learned 30 Seconds to Mars is Jared Leto. Wait, really? Wait, hold on. I'm 31 and I didn't know this. 30 Seconds to Mars. Oh my god. I'd never lied. I know, Sailor. I'm sorry. I never meant to imply that you would lie to me. Alrighty, I think this is done. Sarah lies all the time to me. Alrighty, we have one more to do. It's 6 o'clock. It's just a zoom in on the sky. But I want that. Oh, but it's gonna have like a really nice moon framing it. So I might gather some moon references. So I think we'll save it for next week, or for Thursday. We'll finish the last shot, and then we can start comping it and making it look beautiful. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Like I want this, I'm trying to decide if I want the moon in this shot or not. Ah, maybe I shouldn't. Because Mothlight is all white, right? So if I put the moon in it, it's gonna be a struggle to keep Mothlight from blending in her silhouette because it's gonna hit their eyes. So it might just be like the galaxy. I might just make it the galaxy. I want it to be the sky, but it'll probably just be like a galaxy thing. But anyway, we'll work on that next week. So after that, we will bring it into... Could the moon just be over Leaf Pool? Well, what if I'll use this shot to, I'll do like a mock test. I'll bring it. We'll work on this shot next week. We'll work on it. After this shot's background is done, we will officially be able to move over to After Effects. So we'll have After Effects streams. We won't finish the part on Thursday. I'm 100% like, I don't think we'll finish it on Thursday. And then I have to go on vacation, which is going to be Tuesday to Tuesday. But hopefully I'm hoping to finish this part this month. But after we finish this part, we are going to be taking a break on animating. We are going to work on we are going to be working on the Moonstone. We have to finish the Moonstone. Hold on, I'm downloading it. Oh yeah, Darktail's Judgment's coming out soon, isn't it? No, Darkleaf, you're right. We're gonna have to do Darktail's Judgment, cats. We gotta finish this picture. More Mothlight. I gotta get her all out of the way, man. I gotta get her out of the way. This one's just been a struggle to just do. Dark Sister comes out September 8th. Okay, yeah. So we'll work on this. I hate the colors on this. It doesn't look good. I took some reference pictures at a museum. Oh, we'll see, we'll see. I might workshop this off stream a little bit to see if I can't get anything. I think that my problem is I'm working on this completely on my desktop, and I like to work on colors and stuff like this, at least a little bit on my Retina screen. So I might bring it over to my laptop and scribble some ideas. Anywho, I will see you guys on Thursday. I am going to go eat something and drink some water. I suggest you do too. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in 2 days. Bye-bye.